Rabbi Moshe Parry, Mark Zuckerberg of Facebook came out and made a statement following the shooting of 30 Americans here in Southern California, killing many by jihadists. He made a statement that Facebook somehow will react favorably towards Muslims because of his Jewish heritage. How does he fit in Jewish defense against Muslim anti-Semitism?
First of all, Mark Zuckerberg does not speak for Judaism, for Torah, for Israel in the fight or the conflict with the Arabs over the land. He speaks for the fear that and the cowardice of American Jewry, who largely have an opinion, and if they say nice things about the Muslims will leave them alone. They're afraid of the Muslims. They're unwilling to stand up for Jewish values. They wouldn't know a Jewish value if they tripped over one. And they say the Torah, Judaism says that, teaches them, and their heritage of Judaism teaches them that they should speak on behalf of bedraggled and oppressed peoples everywhere. And while that may be true, the Muslims are far from bedraggled and far from oppressed, though they can act it out very well when they want to with this Syrian refugee crisis, which is neither Syrian, neither refugees, neither a crisis. This is how Muslims treat each other all the time, wiping each other out and chasing each other around, and it's part of a bigger ploy to spread them all around the world so they can attack Americans and Europeans and for Islam to take over the world. And so Mark Zuckerberg, who has never learned Torah in his life, he confuses, as do many American Jews, he confuses what they think is Judaism because of certain things like love your neighbors yourself and proclaim liberty throughout your land. They think that that means democracy and the American credo, and democracy and Judaism are far, far apart from each other. You don't take, for example, if you have the majority that want to vote for Torah Judaism to not be the law of the land, you don't use that majority to say that therefore Torah does not apply anymore. And that's what would happen right now today if you took a poll of all the Jews in the world, that whether Torah Judaism should run our lives, they would all vote no, it should not run our lives. Therefore they don't know what is in the Torah or why we should keep the Torah and what is Eretz Yisrael for, etc. So they are speaking, people like Mark Zuckerberg, who think he has or they have a right to speak on behalf of all of us, do it out of their own fear for their lives and for their wealth and for the political correctness that they perceive as being necessary to keep their good times rolling. And as far as what he said on Facebook, what he says on Facebook is, we know that there's tons of Muslim sites that jihad and proclaim killing Jews and destroying Israel and killing Jews wherever you find them in the world, and we complain about it on a regular basis, and absolutely nobody at Facebook takes these people down and closes their sites down. And when we speak up against the known fear and the known threat that Islam is to us and jihad is to us, they ban us. And if anything, there's a discrimination for strong Jews that defending Israel and defending the rights and lives of Jews everywhere in the world, that we have witnessed the slaughter of all human beings all over the planet, in Paris and now in San Bernardino. And enough is enough. If you're not going to be afraid, if you're not going to stand up because you're too afraid to take a stand for what's right, then we're all going to go under, and it's just a matter of time till America and Israel go under, because we're not doing the right things to try and counter what needs to be done to fight terrorism and fight Islamic fundamentalism.
Go under to who?
Go under to them. They're going to the Muslims. They're spreading out all over the world, and we're insane. The 22,000 that they're talking about letting in here is a death knell for Israel. I mean, for America, it's a death knell, because you see what happens in Europe after they let these people in, and so it's like we're insane. It's like we've gone absolutely bonkers, and we're allowing people that we know are going to act out against us and kill somebody eventually. It's only a matter of time, and we're allowing them to, under the fig leaf of they're refugees and they're poor and oppressed and being chased out. It's all a lie.
Do you know people who have been personally had their Facebook accounts interrupted, suspended, and banned?
Yes, I do. I have friends who said I'm on a timeout from Facebook, and a couple of them have said I got banned outright.
Are you concerned that Facebook now might take retaliation against you for speaking out against them?
My name is Moshe Parry. You can go on my site on Facebook and just scroll down, and I dare you, I defy you, I hope you do ban me, because it'll be a badge of honor for me.
You think if it happens that it'll be a vitriolic revenge?
Yeah, they'll be getting back at me for daring to speak out against their high and mighty founder. And he's not so high and he's not so mighty. We have to stand up, and we have to tell Jews and Gentiles, decent Gentiles all over the world, that unless you're going to stand up and fight this scourge, we're going to be inundated like a flood, like a tidal wave.
What recourse would you have if they decide to suspend you for what they consider? By the way, will you put this on Facebook?
Absolutely. As soon as you get this video ready, you put it on my wall, and it goes out all over the world. I don't care. I'm not afraid of them. I'm not going to kowtow to them. I'm not going to bow to their policies. If you can go right now to any of these Muslim sites and see what they say, and they are on and allowed to be on, and then you're going to ban me for wanting to stop and fight against Nazis, Arab Muslim Nazis who wanted to finish what Hitler did. The Mufti of Jerusalem went in '36 and rode out the war with Hitler as one of his advisors. The Muslim Brotherhood in Egypt in 1928 was formed, and in the next year made a pact with the Nazis. So they can't say that they didn't stand or didn't do any harm to us during World War II. They were with the Nazis, and the Mufti was over there hoping Rama was going to conquer Egypt. And they were ready with crematoria to go in the Sinai to get rid of all the Jews of Palestine, which is Eretz Yisrael.
But that was wartime. Are the Muslims of today different in their getting along with Jews?
Anyone who knows the creed of Islam, they're always at war. And this is a religious war. One of the reasons why the West and the Jewish people in Eretz Yisrael, in Israel, the government of Israel, and the reason we are losing this war is because we regard it as a political negotiations and unrest and poverty and discrimination and all these things. It's bull. That is absolute falsehood, sheker mukhlat, absolute falsehood. The one and only thing, this is a religious war, and they never take a time out from it. Every time they ask for a hudna, they call it. It's a time out to. To reload. Yeah, it's a time out to reload. They call it. It's a ceasefire. It's only a ceasefire until they have more firepower, or they can get out from where they're pinned down to go run somewhere else to start killing people. This is an eternal war. Everyone should go see a site on Facebook. Bill Warner, not on Facebook, on YouTube. Bill Warner, the 1400-year secret, to see just what the West has endured from Islam for the last 1400 years since Islam came on the map, and you'll see the real truth for the first time of the danger and the threat to human society and civilization that these people present. The bottom line is the West is going to be punished by God by having made Israel endure all this suffering for the last 70 years almost, and saying that you should only have proportional response, and you should only have a heart for them, that maybe they do deserve their own freedom in their land. These people can't live with anybody. Americana said they wouldn't abide in Eretz Yisrael the size of a postage stamp. They wanted all. In '67, they had all of the West Bank and Gaza and the Har HaBayis, the Temple Mount in East Jerusalem, and they went to war anyway. So what did they want? They obviously, Americana said, they wanted West Jerusalem and Haifa and Tel Aviv, and so they wanted all, and they forever will want it all. The West Bank and the occupation of those lands is not the impasse and the obstacle to peace. The obstacle to peace in the world is Islam. They cannot be allowed to continue their religion anymore. And it's a religious war that they have against us. And unless we're going to carry our religious war back to them, we don't stand a chance. They're more committed. They're more invested. They're more it's in their culture. They're breeding the warrior spirit. And unless we're going to develop a warrior spirit, we have no chance, no shot. It doesn't matter if we outnumber them. It doesn't matter if we have more weapons than them. We're not allowed to use these weapons. American government doesn't use the weapons, and they prevent Israel from using the weapons to finish them off and chase them out and take them down.